Thursday night, 8 o'clock. You know what that means. It's time for the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Our call sign is N5OAK. My name is Ray. My call sign is K5BZI, and I will be your net control operator for the evening. I am going to be joined tonight by Sky, November 5, Lima X-Ray, who's going to read tonight's General Class Exam questions. As well as, let's see, who's got my news? Let me look back here at the list. Oh yeah, Chad. Kilo Charlie 5 Alpha Juliet Echo will be doing the news tonight. So, if you've never joined our nest before, kind of the way the agenda works is this. We start off with short time check-ins. Those are folks that don't have long with us, people who have other engagements throughout the evening, and they know that we start the nets pretty promptly right at 8 o'clock, so they'll jump in here and get their name and call sign in the short time list and then go off and do whatever it is they have to do. And then after that, we'll go into a question from the General Class License Pool. The General Class License Pool exam question we do every week is pretty helpful to help those Technician Class licensees hear those questions kind of on the fly so that it'll help solidify those topics in their brain so they can go pass the test. Also, it helps those general class licensees like myself or above to stay sharp on those questions. So play along and let's see if you can answer the right questions during the license pool exam session. After that, we'll do some news and nuggets. As I mentioned, it looks like Sky's got our news for this evening. And then we will hopefully get an update on fox hunt activities and then get an update from the president/social events coordinator, Rusty. And then we'll go into regular check-ins. The regular check-ins portion of the net is where you get to open up a topic of discussion based on maybe a project you've been working on or a question you've got that relates to the hobby, and it's, you never could quite get the answer. Well, there's a wealth of knowledge in those that attend our nets every Thursday night, so if you can't get it answered on a Thursday night, well, it's probably not answerable, but you'll get it answered. So be sure to hang around for the regular check-ins portion, because that is where all the real solid content is. As I mentioned before, if you just joined us, this is the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net starting up. My name is Ray, call sign K5BZI, and the club's call sign is N5OAK. The Thursday Night Net is a social net. We like to get everyone together every week to keep in touch, to share thoughts and brag about new projects or new gear. And it's a good time. So let's see. Without further ado, one more thing. I use NetLogger to check folks in, so if you'd like to follow along with the log as I check folks in, you can do that by downloading NetLogger from netlogger.org. It's free once you get it installed. Click on the big blue button that says Select Net and look for OHARC Thursday Night Net, and you'll be able to follow along with me. Also, if you are on Discord with us, I am streaming live from the Shack, so if you'd like to join me in the Shack tonight, you can do that by going to the Thursday Night Net video channel. Hopefully we'll get a group of guys on there, and that'll be a lot of fun. And I think that's about it, so I should probably get into short timers. As I said, if you join us a little bit late, short timers are those who don't have long with us in the evening. Maybe they have something to do. Just want to get their name and call sign on the log. That's what we'll be going into now. So, real quick, if you're new to the hobby, it's always a good practice on nets, especially when you go to check in, when you go to provide your call sign to me. Key it up and say "this is," and then unkey. Because if you say "this is," and then you don't hear anybody, then you won't. You'll know you're not stepping on anyone. So if you say "this is" and then unkey, and you hear someone else, then you know that you're going to be stepping on somebody if you don't. And so then you can wait. So anyway, that helps the net controllers out, and it's just kind of a good habit to get into. Okay, so if you don't have long with us this evening, come now with your name and call sign. Short timers only.
This is K5JDI. That's Kilo 5, Juliet Delta India, David, Circle C Ranch, over.
All right, David, be sure to unkey after you say this is. That way you'll know if you're stepping on someone. But we got you on the log, man. And keep them coming, guys. Short timers only. Come now with your name and call sign, please. This is.
Kilo India 6, Hotel Quebec Tango, Ken in South Austin, no traffic.
This is Kilo Alpha 5 Delta, Kyle, North Austin, no traffic.
All right. I thought I'd heard another person try to jump in there, so go ahead, guys, keep them coming. I've got the first three. I've got Kilo 5 Juliet Delta India. That's David. I've got Kilo India 6 Hotel Queen Tango. That's Ken, no traffic. And then Kilo Alpha 5 Delta Kyle, no traffic. Keep them coming, guys. Check in, short timers only. All right. Well, not a lot heard. Let me remind you that you are listening to the net tonight on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's extended network. And that network includes systems that are linked in via All-Star, and you can find a really cool map of those by going to our website at n5oak.org. When you go there, you will find a tab called All-Star, and you can scroll down there, and there's actually a link that says View the Bubble Chart. And if you go look at that link, you'll see that, as always, we've got the K5TMT system up in Leander connected to us, and through them, we've got a node from Ernesto now. We're connected to that. Looks like KI5PZM's got a 440 node connected through K5TMT this evening, which is cool. Of course, KE5RS up there in Leander, that's a 440 node as well, is connected through the K5TMT system. As usual, we've got the KA5D UT system. If you'd like to join us and you're up north or out northwest or so, or northeast, and you're having a hard time connecting to one of our repeaters, go check out KA5D.com. Kyle's always really good about connecting to us on Thursday nights, and he's got a bunch of machines that are based around the UT campus, but there's quite a few of them up north as well. The main one on the UT campus is... I can never remember the frequency of that machine. It's what is it? 441325. I knew there was a 3 in there somewhere. 441325, and you can check that out and find the tone on KA5D.com. If you're up around Georgetown, there's a simplex node, a 446.45 simplex node there. Looks interesting, and of course, AI5OS is connected tonight. That's cool. From up there in Northwest Austin. Hello, AI5OS at 927.5125. So that's cool. And it looks like we've also got Rick, AI5 Alpha at 224.100. 224.100. So there's a lot to choose from, guys. If you're out near Johnson City or out that way, we've got a machine out there, an Oak machine. An N5OAK machine at 147.250. But tonight, I am coming to you on the flagship 147.320. So a quick reminder about all the systems that are linked to us, and of course you can get to us through Echolink as well, through K5TMT. I think they may have actually fixed our Echolink node. So if you're listening to us on some kind of a stream and you've got a license and you'd like to jump in via Echo, you can check out K5TMT/R or N5OAK/R. I think both of those nodes are up again. All right, let's jump back into short time check-in and see if anybody joined us a little bit late. For the N5OAK Thursday night net, if you'd like to check in short time only, come now with your name and call sign, please.
This is
KV5TX.
All right. We got Chris. Anybody else?
This is Kilo India 5, Yankee Juliet Oscar.
KI5 YJO out in Liberty Hill. Got you on the short timer list there, Charles. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to check in short time tonight?
This is Kilo India 5 Uniform X-ray in South Austin.
You're a little scratchy there. I think it was James. Kilo India 5 Uniform X-ray. What was that last letter there?
Last one's Whiskey. Kilo India 5 Uniform X-ray Whiskey. KI5UXW.
All right, James, got you on the log. Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
KI5PZN.
Ernesto checking in shorty tonight. All righty, anybody else? Okay. That list looks a little bit more nominal. So we'll jump back at the top of the list here and go check in with David, Kilo 5, Juliet Delta India. What's going on, David? How you been this week? He must have been real short time. K5JDI still with us? All right, nothing heard. Now we'll move on down to Chris, KV5TX. How you been, man?
Oh, pretty good. Not too bad, actually. I've been doing a lot of driving around Central Texas past few months and switching out antennas on the roof of my truck just to kind of range check the flagship Oak. And you'd be surprised how far out you can reach it. Never raise anyone. It's usually in the middle of the day, but other than that, that's pretty much all I got. Oh, I was going to ask if Ernesto is still having problems connecting to the hub node. KV5TX, back to net.
All right, Ernesto, you still having trouble?
I don't know. Let me know if my audio is good. KF5PZN.
Sounds great to me.
We're good to go.
All right, cool. Yeah, Chris. You know, what is that area? What is that? That town on 183 way north? You go past Liberty Hill and keep going. What is it? Fords and potatoes and Fords or Chevrolets and eggs. I think it was, are cheaper in the country. What's the name of that little town?
Is it Bertram?
No. Well, anyway, we KC5IHO and I sat next to the airport on top of a hill right out on the north side of that town, and were able to hit the Oak no problem with a little bitty antenna. So yeah, it's got a pretty hefty reach. Lampasas. Yeah, I think that's it. Lampasas.
Oh yeah, I've been a few miles just south of Lampasas and can get in. Today today doesn't count. I had a little shorty antenna on there, but yeah, I haven't been writing anything down. I just kind of try to remember it, but that didn't work. Anyway, KV5TX.
All right, man. Well, thanks for checking in. Good to hear from you, and we'll catch you next time around. Next on my list is Charles, Kilo India 5 Yankee Juliet Oscar. Speaking of Liberty Hill, how are things going on out there, man?
KI5YJO, things are just fine. I just came back from dinner with a friend and turned on the radio and told it to scan and picking you guys up. And according to my radio, I'm picking up the Oak Hill Tower. So I guess you guys got a pretty strong signal, and I guess I'm reaching back okay.
Yeah, sounded great. Glad to have you on our net. Is this your first time checking in?
Affirmative. First time checking in with this net. I just got my radio programmed last weekend, and I've just been surfing around in the evenings after I get off work, and then just checking in where I can, seeing what I can reach.
Okay, right on, man. Well, you sound great, and remember us, we're here every Thursday night. If you can stick around, it'd be great. We've got a pretty decent agenda for the night tonight, so stick around if you can. We'd love to have you. You can always feel free to recheck during the regular check-ins portion, which comes a little later on in the net, but we're glad to have you. All right, next on my short times list is James. That's Kilo India 5 Uniform X-Ray Whiskey. How are things, man?
Pretty good. Finally got an 80-meter Morse code transmitter project that I've been kind of procrastinating on for a few months working. It turns out I took it in today to the KF5OPJ radio club meeting, and I got some help. And it turns out the thing that I was missing is a loose connection on the inductor. But now it works, and now the next ambitious step of the project is to convert into an AM transmitter by putting an audio transformer in series with the positive voltage input from the trainer board.
Well, that sounds awesome, man. Boy, if I could get that much work done on the handful of projects I got laying around, I could actually brag a little bit. So that's great. I'm glad to hear that you finally got her operational, and we're glad to have you on the net this evening. So, like I say, be sure to stick around if you can check in regular check-in time. We'd definitely love to have you. Is this your first time checking in? I don't quite recognize the call sign there.
It is my first time checking into this specific net, but I've checked into a few of the other Oak Hill nets. It just depends. Whenever I'm out and walking my dog, I'll go take the handy-talkie and see who's on the air. You probably recognize the call sign. I'm fairly active-ish on the Discord, so I read a lot of what happens and make googly eyes at the stuff that shows up in the swap net and the antennas channel.
Well, there you go. That's just fine. That's absolutely plenty of activity, man. There's an awful lot of folks that just lurk all the time and don't even googly eye stuff. So appreciate you stopping by and sharing that cool information about that new transmitter. That sounds like a lot of fun, a little project there. All right, moving on the list, we got KI5PZN Ernesto. Sounds like you're coming in just fine. Were you having some issues? What's going on?
This is KI5PZN. Hey, yeah, man, thank you for that, and hello, everybody on the net listening, too. No, it was yesterday that I was having issues because I was using a hotspot that I have, and I wasn't getting a good connection. I was trying to check into, I checked into the UTNet. It was pretty bad, but today I connected to my parents' Wi-Fi. I'm currently calling from Puerto Rico. It's the reason why I did a short time check-in is because it's 10:19 here already. I'm about to put Enrique to bed and all of those things. But, yeah, things are working out just fine. Just wanted to check in and say hello to everybody. And, thanks again for running the net. Back to you. This is KI5PZN.
Roger that. Well, thanks for checking in from all the way in Puerto Rico, and connection sounds fine. And give the family a big hug for us, and you guys have a great holiday if you're going to be there all this. Are you going to be there all the way through New Year's, or when are you coming home?
Well, the ticket, I guess, that I bought is to coming back on the 5th of January, but I don't know, we're kind of playing it by ear, so we might show up a little bit earlier. It depends how things go. Back to you.
Well, I know how that goes. Cool, man. Well, we got our tickets a couple days ago for Mexico City, so we will be down there, not too terribly far from you, throughout the holidays as well. So have a great trip, and I hope all the best and health to you and yours down there. All righty, guys. Well, that wraps up my short time check-ins, first round anyway. You're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. We are N5OAK. My name is Ray. Call sign K5BZI. I am net control this evening. It is a controlled net, meaning all stations should refrain from transmitting till designated check-in or comment times. And speaking of check-in times, let me do another round, see if anybody's joined us late for a short time. Anybody want to check in short time, last call?
This is
KB5MPJ Mobile.
We got MPJ. Go ahead, other station. Sorry, I think I doubled with you. One more time.
Papa Delta.
One more time, please. One more time.
November 5 Alpha Papa Delta.
Okay, got you that time, Danny. All right, let's jump in real quick with Jason, KB5MPJ Mobile. Jason, where are you at and how you doing?
Doing pretty well, Ray. Yeah, I'm up here, actually off of Anderson Lane and Mopac. Gonna visit some friends up here tonight. About to hit Whataburger on the way. Don't really have too much. I'm gonna join y'all to volunteer for that race this weekend. So I guess I'll just show up and meet y'all there. Are y'all getting there like at 7 o'clock, or what time are you getting there?
Yeah, we got the email today. Let's see. The guy said, if you give me just a minute, here we go. I think he wants us there at, 7 a.m. 7 a.m. at the Travis County Expo single-story hall.
Okay, yeah, I'll just have to look at the directions because I don't know. I know where the expo center is, but I don't know exactly where that hall is. But yeah, I'm sure I'll find it.
Yeah, Roger. Did you fill out the little form on his website there? Because I got an email from him. You didn't get an email today?
Well, so I filled out the form this evening, and I didn't get any kind of confirmation right away, so I figured maybe there's not anything automatic that I'm going to get. But it was after 5 today when I filled it out.
Okay. Well, I just forwarded the email that he sent to me this morning oh wow, he sent it at midnight? Wow. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so I got it at 12:09 a.m. this morning. So I just forwarded it to you. I assume he'll probably follow up with you probably either Friday or Saturday. So, all right, man. Well, have a safe drive, and thanks for checking into the net. And I'm going to move on next to Danny. That's November 5 Alpha Papa Delta. Looks like you're out in Johnson City. How you coming in there on Danny?
November 5 Alpha Papa Delta. That's coming in very well. Very clear. I have no idea how my signal is. I'm on the 25-foot porch overlooking the northwest of Johnson City. And it's a beautiful evening in the country out here.
Yeah, you're coming in just fine. Coming in, I assume, on the 147250 machine. Is that right?
That is affirmative. It's kind of a new little antenna on this little boat thing, and this is the only thing that I have set up. I'm kind of new to all this, so I thought I'd stand on the porch and see what happens. But just wanted to shout out to everybody, and I think Mr. Ernesto was at the testing center on the 5th when I took my test. But I was kind of a nervous wreck to all of it. But anyway, I wanted to say hi and just check in. Back to you.
Well, we appreciate it. You sounded good now. I had a little rough copy when you first jumped in there, but you sounded real good now. So whatever you're doing, it's working, and we hope to have you on more often. It's good to make your acquaintance. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the hobby, and I appreciate you checking in. November 5 Alpha Papa Delta. Have a great weekend. All right, guys. That wraps up short time check-ins. Let me do a station ID, and we'll continue on with tonight's agenda. You are listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday Night Net, call sign N50AK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. We are a social net, meaning we like to get to the club and local hands together to chat, tell us about projects they've been working on, hang out, that sort of thing. We do it every Thursday at 8 p.m., and we're always here. The agenda is that we just finished up with short time check-ins. Now we're going to move into a question from the General Class License Pool Exam. General Class License Exam Pool. Wow, say that 5 times fast. Alright, I've got Sky, November 5, Lima X right here to do the question for us. Go ahead, Sky, take it away.
Hi, Ray. This is N5LX. Sky for short. My full name is Skylar, if anybody was curious. And hi to everyone on the net. Are you hearing me okay? I don't have any way of monitoring right now.
You sound fantastic, man.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so I'm going to read a couple of questions from the General Class Licensing Exam question pool. And if you have a technician, or maybe if you don't even have a license at all and you're ambitious, but definitely if you have a technician license, you should go ahead and go for the general class because you get a lot more privileges and it's a lot of fun and you learn some interesting things too. I did, and I'm still learning. And so I'm going to read 2 questions from I guess what they're calling the sub-element G9 section, which is antennas and feed lines. Reset. Okay, so the first one is question G9A04, and the question is, what might cause reflected power at the point where a feed line connects to the antenna? And the choices are A, operating an antenna at its resonant frequency, B, using more transmitter power than the antenna can handle, C, a difference between feed line impedance and antenna feed point impedance, D, feeding the antenna with unbalanced feed line. And, well, those are the choices. Let me read it over again just to make sure everybody got it. Okay, so the question is, what might cause reflected power at the point where a feed line connects to the antenna? A, operating an antenna at its resonant frequency. B, using more transmitter power than the antenna can handle. C, a difference between feed line impedance and antenna feed point impedance. And D, feeding the antenna with unbalanced feed line. So if anybody has the answer or they want to give it a shot, go for it.
This is N5AFC. I'm going with Charlie, although I was thinking about Bravo.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Kilo India 5, Yankee India Alpha. I go with C.
Okay, any last call? Anybody else on that one? N5LX. Okay, nothing heard, so the answer is C, a difference between feed line impedance and antenna feed point impedance. And they give a little explanation. I'll just read a part of it. It says the reason for the occurrence of reflected power at the feed point where a feed line connects to the antenna is because of a difference between feed line impedance and antenna feed point impedance. And there's a little bit more of the explanation, but you can also look that up in the General Class License Manual, which is a good thing to have too. Okay, so I'm going to read one more question. It's G9A13. And it's also from the antenna and feed lines section or sub-element. The reason I picked these two is because, at least for me, I thought these antenna questions kind of led me to explore a little bit about antenna impedance matching and stuff like that. And if you're interested in, and you end up going into HF and kind of exploring that aspect of the hobby, that information, what you learn there, can be pretty useful to get your rig working right. So here's another question. Okay, here goes. What is the effect of transmission line loss on SWR measured at the input to the feed line? And the choices are A, the higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially low. B, the higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially high. C, the higher the transmission line loss, the more accurate the SWR measurement will be. D, transmission line loss does not affect the SWR measurement. And I'll read it again after a reset. So the question again is, what is the effect of transmission line loss on SWR measured at the input to the line? A, the higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially low. B, the higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially high. C, the higher the transmission line loss, the more accurate the SWR measurement will be. And D, transmission line loss does not affect the SWR measurement. So if anybody out there has the answer or they want to give it a shot, go for it.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet. I'm going to go with A.
This is N5 AFC. I am right or wrong going 100% with Delta.
Put BBS down for Delta as well.
EZN with Alpha.
KI5OBD, Delta.
KI5WVF, Alpha.
Okay, last chance. Anybody else? No takers. Okay, this is N5LX. The correct answer is A. The higher the transmission line loss, the more the SWR will read artificially low. And there's an explanation here. I'm not going to read it. It's kind of lengthy. But I would encourage everybody to go out there and check it out. Get that general class license manual if you haven't had your general class yet. And upgrade. It's definitely going to be worth it, folks. So, back to you, Ray, and hi to everybody on the net again, and it's good to hear everybody. N5LX.
I really like that second question. I'll give a quick explanation. So standing wave ratio, SWR, is it's heating up the transmission line basically. And so when your transmission line is lossy, the transmission line is actually absorbing that heat because it's lossy. It's absorbing the power that you're trying to push towards the antenna. So if it's absorbing the standing wave ratio, then your SWR meter is going to read low. So that's that. All right, well, thank you very much, Sky. Appreciate the good questions, and thanks, everyone, for participating. It's always a good time. I really enjoy antenna questions. All right, let me remind you that you are, in fact, listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. My name is Ray. My call sign is K5BZI. I am net control this evening. It is a controlled net, meaning that all stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment times. We have gotten through tonight's short time check-ins. We've gotten through the question from the general class license pool. I just can't say that right tonight. And now we're going to move on to tonight's news. And thankfully, I've got someone to do that for me tonight. And his name is Chad, and his call sign, Kilo Charlie 5 Alpha Juliet Echo. Chad, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Ray. This is Chad, KC5AJE, and I'll be reading the news this evening. This first story comes from ARRL.org. Came from a December 2nd article. So I picked this story in light of, in fact, a conversation that was just occurring, and some of our N5 OAK members are volunteering at a similar event this weekend, and maybe Rusty will talk a little bit more about that later. But the title of the article is Amateur Radio Club Provides Communications Support for Thanksgiving Day Race. The Bears, BEARS, of Manchester Amateur Radio Club in Manchester, Connecticut, spent Thanksgiving Day providing amateur radio communications support for the 86th Manchester Road Race. The race, a 4.748-mile course that begins and ends on Main Street in downtown Manchester, has been a Thanksgiving Day tradition since 1927. This is the 30th consecutive year the Bears of Manchester Amateur Radio Club has provided communications support, with more than 10,000 runners participating and over 30,000 spectators lining the course. Radio operators began arriving at 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. 55 operators staffed 39 positions around the course and were stationed every quarter mile to provide safety communications and report the lead male and female runners to the public address announcer. Shadow operators helped 10 race officials stay in communications. Operators also started and ran 4 clocks around the course to help pace runners, and a station operated in the Public Safety Emergency Operations Center, EOC, to relay safety-related information to representatives of various agencies. Ham radio operators also provided communications for a shuttle bus operation, brought runners and spectators from a remote parking area to Main Street, and then returned them to the end of the race. Check-in and check-out were accomplished through a net control station to maintain accountability. Communication for the event was made on 6 repeater and simplex frequencies, and 3 crossband repeaters were used for signal quality to avoid interference. The Bears of Manchester Amateur Radio Club is an ARRL affiliated club. So I thought that was a cool little news piece, and maybe keep your eyes out for future opportunities to volunteer, and maybe you too can reach the heights of ARRL news fame. The second article I picked comes from my background as a former history teacher. This article is titled Amateur Radio Operators Commemorate Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. At the request of ARRL, the National Association for Amateur Radio, the Federal Communications Commission granted a waiver allowing amateur radio operators to participate in a special event commemorating the 81st anniversary of National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. On December 6th and 7th, ham radio operators can make crossband contacts with Battleship Iowa, now moored on the port of Los Angeles in San Pedro, California, using the call sign NEPM. The FCC waiver, quote, is conditioned on participating amateur stations, 1, monitoring the following 3 federal frequencies, 14.375 kilohertz, 18.170 kilohertz, and 21.460 kilohertz. 2, responding on spectrum allocated to the amateur service and only at the request of event organizers. 3, operating consistent with the privileges of their amateur licenses. And 4, limiting communications to the period beginning 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, December 6, 2022, through 8:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, December 7, 2022. Additionally, all other related communications regulations that are applicable to amateur radio operators will continue to apply, ergo, mode, maximum power, and license class, end quote. Because this is a crossband operation, ARRL reminds participating amateur stations to monitor their transmit frequency, as well as the ship station's out-of-band frequency, to protect against inadvertently interfering with other amateur communications. The waiver includes that in addition, quote, addition to the skills gained by amateur operators who operate in the event, this specific Remembrance Day carries particular importance given the ever-decreasing number of World War II veterans able to participate each year, end quote. Quote, this special event offers radio amateurs the opportunity to participate in a remembrance that honors the sacrifices of all those present at Pearl Harbor on that infamous day, and in memory of all those who lost their lives during World War II defending our freedoms, end quote, said Bart Jenk, W9JJ, ARRL Radio Sport and Regulatory Information Manager. More information about the event and QSL procedures can be found on the website of the Battleship Iowa Amateur Radio Association, BIARA, an ARRL-affiliated club at https://biara.org. Operations on both days are expected from 1500 to 2400 UTC. The BIARA president is Doug Dowds, W6HB, an ARRL life member. And that's all I've got for the news, and so this is Chad, KC5AJE, and I'll pass it on back to Ned.
All right, thanks, Chad. Appreciate that. Well, I wish I had not missed the battleship contact days. Looks like 6th and the 7th. That would have been cool. I was looking at their website after you gave the link, and I think I've actually contacted this ship before because I think I recognize that QSL card on the top right there at the header of their website. So pretty cool. Thanks for that. And those Manchester Bears are in Connecticut. I had to look it up. I was like, Manchester? They have Thanksgiving in the UK? But no, it's in Connecticut. And I wonder if our good friend TCC, what is this call sign? TCM or whatever, who used to live down this way and moved to Connecticut, has heard of these volunteers opportunities there in Hartford. So interesting stuff. And yeah, you guys, if you are available Sunday and would like to get involved in volunteering for a marathon, I think it's probably a half marathon maybe around Decker Lake, we could still use some help. Go check out the volunteer channel on our Discord server. And if you're not on our Discord server, you can very easily become a member of it. By the way, if you don't know what it is, it's a web-based chat client that we use to keep in touch and share knowledge. And there's all kinds of channels on our Slack server, on our Discord server, I should say. I've probably been saying Slack. I'm looking at both windows because I have my Slack open for work and my Discord open for for the club. But on our Discord volunteer channel, and as I was saying, if you're not a member of us on Discord, go to the website, in508k.org. There's a big purple button on the bottom left. And Thursday nights are a good night to do it, too, because whenever you apply for membership, we will see that application pop up, and there are admins listening to the net tonight that will get you approved as quickly as possible. So go check us out on Discord, and if you're already on there and you feel like you might be interested in hanging out with some of us, myself included, on Sunday morning, and volunteering for what ought to be a pretty cool event, go check out the volunteer channel. Alrighty, guys, let's see. That's about it for the news. I've got some announcements lined up, and let's see what we have newsworthy in the fox hunting genre of ham radio. Does anybody have a fox hunt update for us this week?
KI5MVF.
Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, everybody. We had a pretty fun fox hunt this past weekend, hosted by Sky N5LX. He posted it, and it went live on Friday at 8 p.m., and it ran through the weekend until Sunday at 8 p.m. It was over off of kind of the 290 area behind the Burger Activity Stadium right there. He included some pretty cool clues on this one, and it was hidden on a nice little trail back there. Only a few people found it, first of which was Mark, N5UMT, then Paul, KA5FZU, and then it's credited as me, KI5MVF, but credit actually goes to Ashley. She did all of the hunting on that one, and I was just along for the ride. It was a pretty good, simple, straightforward, enjoyable fox, getting out there on some trails I had never seen before. So if you're interested in fox hunts, I can tell you that we don't currently have any others scheduled coming up. So if you want to host or you're interested just in fox hunting in general, we have a fox hunt channel on Discord. If you have questions, we'd love to have you. Otherwise, we tend to do some demonstrations around our club meetings and other get-togethers. But it's a lot of fun, and a bunch of us in here enjoy it. Sometimes we only get 3 people, sometimes we get 15 people out there. It's a good time. Highly recommend it. KI5MVF, FracNet.
And sometimes we get signatures in the log that aren't even hams. Don't know what this is, but it's pretty cool. John was here. I love it. All right, thank you very much there, and we will hopefully have another fox hunt pop up soon. I was going to say, even though we don't have anything currently scheduled, keep your eye on that fox hunt channel because it's been known to have someone say, you know what, I'm gonna throw one out right now on a Friday afternoon. So you never know until the weekend comes. There might just be one out there. Don't write it off until the weekend's there. Alrighty, let's see. Before we move on to announcements from the president and some social event news, let's see if there's anybody who has any questions or comments or newsworthy items that they'd like to share with the net tonight. Come with your name and call sign. Okay, we had some cool news stories and a really good fox update, so I thought we'd open it up and see if anyone had any comments, but I guess not. All right, well, let me remind you that you're listening to the N5OAK Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net here every Thursday at 8 p.m. My name is Ray, call sign K5BZI. I am net control. It is a controlled net, so please refrain from transmitting till designated check-in or comment times. And we will get to our regular check-ins right after the next segment. Let's see if WZ5BBS is available. Rusty, you around?
Hey, Ray, everybody on the net. Yes, sir, I am here. And we'll do a little trivia update. For all of our new members that don't know, the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club has a trivia net right here every Friday at 9 p.m. We had 35 players last week. And Covey, K5VEY, came in first place with 1,934 points, followed by Nick, NM5NU, out in Placitas, New Mexico, and that's Leslie's dad. And then Sky, N5LX, coming in third place with 1,820 points. So congratulations to our top 3 there. And the first Friday of every month, we used to do North versus South. Now it's N5OAK versus the Crossroads. It's the Roadies versus the Okies. And good thing for us, man, Oak Hill came in yet again, so it's now 2-0 over Crossroads. So way to go, guys. Covey was really cleaning up, man. K5VEY made it all the way to level 6 on the elimination round. And Kent, KI5RVT, man, he's still the man to beat. 137,000 points. Way to go, man. Anybody can play. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. We got the bingo starting at 8:30, so you got something to do while you're hanging out for the net to begin. To check out player rankings, stats, net logs, or just for more information about the Friday Night Trivia Net, you can head over to n5oak.org and click on the Trivia Net tab. And as far as official business goes, we are up to 476 members. I got to thank Rick, AI5A, again, for fixing up our member form. with a fancy new CAPTCHA thing so the bots won't take over. Bruce, K9PTT, I love that call sign. He was the first one to test out the new bot feature, and it seems to work. David, KE5DPZ, Ronnie, KG5KKS, and Jason, KF5HKQ. They are our 4 newest members as of last Thursday, so welcome to you. If you haven't officially joined the club, you can do so on the website. Just click on the Join tab, go in there and give us your first name and your call sign, and you can make that happen. While you're doing that, make sure you also join us on Discord, because that's really where all the fun is. Our next club meeting will be Saturday, January 21st at the Austin Public Library. You can check out the website and the meeting channel on Discord for all the details, give you directions, times, the whole bit. The next local ARRL testing session is January 7th at 10 a.m. So if it's time to upgrade or get your buddy licensed, you can find out all the details on the website as well. You can also get in touch with Ernesto. We have a lot of VEs from our club going over to help, so you'll get to meet some of us. But if you want more information, just shoot an email to Ernesto, KI5PZN@gmail.com. And then like Ray and Chad and the news said, this Sunday, man, it's the Decker Challenge. It's going to be an early morning on Sunday, but I'm so proud of you guys, man. We got like 7 people signed up to volunteer on this thing, and I'm going to be there as well. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with everybody. I am not looking forward to being there at 7 a.m., but you know what? Sometimes that's just what you got to do. If you are interested in hanging out and helping with the Decker Challenge, you can go to the volunteer channel, and there is a link in there. You can get in touch with Jim, and it's the same thing. Go sign up on the form and put it in there. You get free breakfast and coffee and a T-shirt, so you get a little swag out of the deal. Plus, you get to help with the Decker Challenge 5K. As far as Fox Hunt goes, that is still up in the air, so check out the Fox Hunt channel to see. We also have a Fox Hunt channel, or a page on the website, so you can see the schedule and kind of what's going on. And don't forget, on the DMR repeater now has a net every night of the week, so go check out n5oak.org for all the details on all the net schedules over there. And then our very own wind down net from Miresto, KI5PZN and KI5SYX, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. The easiest way to stay up to date is to subscribe to the official club calendar, and you can do that at n5oak.org. Just click on the calendar tab, and you'll see how to make it happen. You can also add your birthday, and I got the link working again, so if you've tried to add your birthday, go do it again. I was not getting emails, and thank you, Philip, for letting me know. I think that's it for all of our announcements and fun things going on. And again, thank you to everybody that's going to come help volunteer on Sunday morning. It's super amazing of y'all to help make that happen. And thanks Sky, N5LX, and Chad, KC5AJE, for helping out with the net tonight. So I shall return it to Ray, K5BZI, WZ5BBS. Back to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Rusty. Appreciate that. Does anybody have any comments or questions from Rusty's little announcements there? Go ahead. I guess Rusty's little announcements weren't so little after all. You got it all covered. Right on, man. Well, appreciate it. One quick thing, let me remind everybody, if you are general class or above and have kids, every night at 7 p.m. Central on 3916, check-in is a half hour before, you can have your kids talk to Santa Claus. Santa Claus on the air, the Santa Net at this time of year is pretty cool. And even if you don't have kids, it's a lot of fun to listen to. So go check out 3916 Nets at 7 p.m. Be there at 6:30 if you want to check in and get your kiddos on the list to speak with Santa. The Santa Net every night this time of year on 3916 at 7 p.m. Go check it out. And there's a 10-meter net 10-meter contest this weekend, guys. It starts at 6 p.m. on Friday afternoon, and it's on the 10-meter net, the 10-meter band. Wow, where did that word go? You can find out more by going to arrl.org/10-meter. There was quite a bit of chatter about it on the contest channel on Discord today, and apparently there's a lot of decent e-skip this time of year. So if the band's not sounding too great, just give it a few minutes to try again. Apparently George has had a lot of luck just keeping at it on previous 10-meter contests. So if you're going to be around the shack this weekend, good opportunity to warm up the 10-meter band portion of your radio for the 10-meter contest. ARRL 10-meter contest this weekend. Okay, that's about it. Let's see. Let me give another station ID and the rundown towards regular check-ins, and we'll get right into it. This is the Thursday Night Net hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N5OAK. My name is Ray. My call sign is K5BZI. It is a controlled net, meaning the station should refrain from transmitting till designated check-in or comment times. We're about to start the regular check-ins portion of our net. That is the portion where we open the floor to discussion of whatever you want to bring up. Tell us about a project you've been working on. Ask a question about maybe something that's got you stumped. Maybe there's something on the general class license pool and you're a technician. You just don't quite understand it. So I promise you, there's a wealth of knowledge in the folks that join this net every week, and it's a great opportunity for you to reach out and get the conversation going and learn a little something along the way. You do not have to be a club member. In fact, we encourage any and all licensed amateur radio operators to join us. And we ask that you keep it clean and inviting for those hams that are new to the club or new to the area, and for those younger folks who may be listening and participating this week. Please keep it friendly and clean, and we'll have a good time all. What else? If you'd like to join me in the shack, you can do that by going to the video channel on Discord, the Thursday Night Net video channel. Myself and a couple of others there streaming live right now. And if you'd like to follow along with check-ins, I use NetLogger to log check-ins every time I run the net, and it's a free piece of software you can download from the internet. Netlogger.org is the website. Install it, click the big blue button that says Select Net, look for OHARC Thursday Night Net, and you can follow along. Okay, without further ado, if you'd like to check in tonight's net, come now with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Echo 5, Delta Papa Zulu.
This is November 5, Lima X-Ray.
This is
KI5 and OK, Anderson and Manchester.
Okay, we had a double there. I got Anderson and Manchak. What was the other station? Go ahead.
That was November 5, Alpha Fox Charlie.
All right, gotcha. Keep them coming, guys. Okay, we got someone who's breaking the squelch, but no audio. Try again. Now keep the check-ins coming, guys.
This is KI5OBD, Scott and Kyle.
This is WZ5 BBS, South Dallas.
This is Kilo India 5, Mike Victor Frank, South Austin.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet, Garrett and Buda.
All right. That's a pretty good rundown real quick. So let's jump back up to the top of the list and go check in with David out in Fredericksburg. Kilo Echo 5 Delta Papa Zulu. How are things out your way, David? Good to hear from you.
Doing great. Thank you. Your signal's coming through loud and clear over here to Mike QTH and SVG. I hope to have a very successful net. Sounds like you get a lot of folks coming in already. KE5, DPZ, back net.
Roger that, my friend. Yeah, you're sounding good here too. A little bit of static on your signal, but you're doing just fine, and we appreciate you checking in. Any projects you've been working on as of late, or just now joining the net for the first time? Tell us what you've been up to.
I've got a couple of current projects going on. I'm trying to revive an old packet station, and then at the same time go do some HF packet work as well with WinLink and whatnot. But anyway, that's still projects in the works. KE5, DPZ.
Yeah, copy that. We've got a really good packet station here based at UT Austin, hosted by KA5D. So once you get that system up and running, you might want to hit him. And myself and a couple other guys have actually done some HF packet work. There's stations all around, so that's a lot of fun when you get into it, and it's something you can kind of do, on your own. So it's kind of cool. Alrighty, sir. Well, I appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you sharing, and let's open it up and see if anyone has any comments about packet radio this evening. We've got KE5 Delta Papa Zulu out in Fredericksburg with us, guys. Anybody want to chime in?
Kilo Alpha 5 Delta.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention that if you're in Fredericksburg and you wanted to do packet radio and get all the way back to Austin with it, we do have a 40-meter packet station. You can, I believe that's, the frequency is 7104 lower sideband, and that's 300 baud packet radio. And you can find information on that at ka5d.com/repeaters. And pretty easy to hit that station from Fredericksburg. I've actually been able to hit it from the Chisos Basin in Big Bend and send emails through that packet station. So I think you'd have a good shot at it.
Roger, Roger. Well, thank you for that. Well, when you were down in Big Bend, did you happen to log on to the Big Bend Amateur Radio Network system down there? They have like 6 different repeaters all linked together that, give a marvel of accessibility to some of the most desolate country in the state. Cool, but desolate. KE5 DPZ.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, did a hike to the South Rim, which is a fairly remote hike and high altitude, taking an HT, and I can hit the repeater on top of Elephant Butte with that on 5 watts. So great coverage out there. So yeah, thanks for asking. KA5D, back to net.
Alrighty, sir. Appreciate the information. I didn't realize you guys had an HF packet station out there. That's cool. I'll have to pay more attention to your website, Kyle. Alrighty, guys. Anybody else have anything for David this week? KE5 DPZ is here before we let him go. Alrighty, sir. Well, thanks for checking in from out there in Fredericksburg, and you're sounding great. We hope to hear from you again soon. Have a great weekend. Next on my list is Sky, November 5 Lima X-Ray. What you up to, Skylar?
N5LX here. I don't know, I'm usually pretty laid back. I'm kind of slow about projects. I start a lot of projects and the progress is usually very slow. The current project, and I think my friends are probably all tired of hearing about it because it's not done, but I'm working on a mag loop antenna. I finished my attic dipoles, and the mag loop is, I don't think there's only a few commercial mag loop antennas available, and so a lot of people build their own, and so that actually kind of makes it more interesting. You learn a lot in the process, so I'm enjoying that, kind of collecting parts and designing it as I go. And then at some point I'll test it and then kind of go back and reiterate, just do the process over again. And let's see, what else am I doing? Reset? I've been kind of disappointed in the attic dipoles. I mean, they work. It's good to have something, but so I'm scratching my head trying to figure out, what I want to do. I don't think I'm ready to throw money at a hex beam or anything yet, so I was thinking about, I was reading about the Delta Loop, a 40-meter side-fed Delta Loop, and they say it has a pretty low radiation pattern. So I was going to kind of figure out how to fit that in my backyard. That might be kind of cool. And then besides the radio stuff, about last week I got out of retirement and I've been doing some work on the UT campus and actually really enjoying that too. So that's about what I'm up to. Went to a concert last week with a friend, and that's about it. Looking forward to getting that antenna finished. N5LX. Back to you, Ray.
Yeah, sounds like you've been keeping yourself pretty busy. Boy, I tell you, if you want to learn about antennas, a MagLoop is an interesting project. I have not tackled one yet, but from what I've heard and read about them, they are certainly an interesting beast. That's cool. Well, thanks for sharing, and let's see if there's anybody out there who has any comments. N5LX, Skylar's here with us, guys. He's making a MagLoop. Anybody have any thoughts? All right, no one has anything, Sky, so we'll let you go. Thank you so much for the exam question tonight. Did a great job, and have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time around. Next on my list is Anderson down here in Manchac area. Kilo India 5 November Lima Kilo. What's cooking, my friend?
Not a ton, Ray. KI5 and OK here. I'm actually mobile. I'm going to get some stuff to do an oil change from like AutoZone or somebody. Radio-wise, I've been pretty weak. Just doing the old after work slacker chat type stuff. I did have neither of these guys are going to be on the net, it sounds like, but K5JM and W5WGH they were causing a pile up on the Ham Shack hotline. I got a voicemail and they were both trying to make Ham Shack hotline happen again, so it made me go, well, now I got to go pull my Ham Shack hotline phone out so I don't look like a quitter for not calling them back. So I got to do that this weekend, but pretty chill week though. Pretty laid back. Back to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get myself one of those phones. I feel like I've almost got. If I can get a 200 megahertz radio in here, I'll feel pretty full with radios, and then that phone will be, I think, my last step. So that'll I'll have to look into that. I saw a quick YouTube video on that stuff the other day, and it kind of piqued my interest. So cool, man. Well, glad to hear you're still working the SpackerNet in the afternoons. I need to chime in again. I've been kind of stuck busy with work, and then next thing I know, it's already 5, and you're done by then. So I'll get in there. You'll hear me. Alrighty, guys. We've got Anderson here. Kilo India 5 November Lima Kilo's with us. If anyone's got anything for him, come down.
BBS.
Go ahead, Rusty.
It's 9 o'clock, man. There's no oil change places open. You're going for beer. You can really say that. How's Mexican food?
There are some oil change places. Some of these AutoZones stay open almost 24 hours a day, at least till midnight. But Mexican food was good. Kids went nuts. Ran around, did exactly as expected. So Flores wins again.
Roger, man. Well, good luck on finding oil. WZ5 BBS.
I think O'Reilly's open till 10, and that's where you want to go anyway, because they have Wix filters. Anybody else have anything for Anderson?
KI5YJO.
Go ahead, sir.
Usually I buy my oil at Walmart. It's usually the same brand name, and it's most likely cheaper, but you may or may not be able to get Wix filters, but you can usually get Motorcraft or AC Delco if you have a Ford or Chevrolet.
I don't know. Ray's probably a little more picky about filters than me. I'll take whatever I can get. Usually, I'm just like first thing available.
You know, Walmart's not a bad recommendation. I actually, for the longest time, bought my batteries at Walmart because they do stay open so late. Some of them are 24 hours, and if you're out of town and you're going down the highway and your battery dies, odds are, in the middle of the night, there's going to be an open Walmart versus a, parts store. So I have definitely done that. Okay, anybody else have anything for Anderson before we let him go this week? Okay, nothing heard. Anderson, my friend, have a great evening, and I hope you get the job done. You gonna do the oil change tonight?
Maybe. We'll see. Probably not.
Yeah, well, the weather's nice enough. If you got plenty of light, why the heck not? Oil change doesn't take very long. Well, good luck, man. I hope you don't have any issues with it. All right, next on my list is Jared, November 5 Alpha Fox Charlie, AFC. Are you a football fan, Jared?
Well, indeed I am, but probably not the one you're thinking. Yeah, my call sign is the postcode for a specific area of North London where Arsenal Football Club plays. So, mystery unraveled. Back to you, Net Control.
Yeah, roger that. I was thinking, American Football Conference. But, yeah, that makes sense as well. Well, have you, what are you coming in? Are you coming in through which repeater?
Yeah, so right now I'm on the UT Big Dog, and I can hear everybody just fine on the N5 OAK, but I'm sitting on a handheld with a signal stick on top, which is a great antenna, but it takes a lot for it to hit the repeater and have everybody else hear it. So yeah, over here in East Austin, N5 AFC.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you sounded good. I guess it's been a while since I hosted the net, and I didn't recognize that unkey tone, and that's the KA5D system. So I hadn't heard it in a while. So I was just wondering which one you're coming in on. You sound just fine. Well, good stuff, my friend. Are you working on any projects lately?
Kind of, sort of. I rent a house, so I can't really slap up my, base station here and everything. But also, I do like emergency management stuff for my day job, and then Texas State Guard also. And a lot of that is emergency management, communication and stuff. And I've been looking for something portable for a while, and I think I've got it just about dialed in. And the crown jewel should arrive tomorrow. I'm going to let it breathe for a second. Reset. But with an HT, I'm sitting right now, my HT is 8 watts, so I'm not sure if that makes a difference. But HT, 25 feet of cable, and a regular tripod with a J-pole that I got from Signal Stuff. I can set up anywhere, and it all breaks down to like whatever the tripod is, plus 12-inch sections, and like less than 10, 15 pounds. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about setting up tomorrow just to listen to Trivia Night, and I'll be on the net Thursday night again. So back to you, Net.
Yeah, roger that. Well, that's cool. So you got some gear coming in, extend the HT station a little bit. The antenna makes a huge difference. In fact, that's pretty much exactly what I plan on using for a station for this volunteer service support station this Sunday. I'm going to use my HT with a little bit of feed line and a decent antenna, so that should be all we need around Decker Lake there. Alrighty, man. Well, I appreciate you checking in and sharing the news about your new gear coming in. That's cool. And let's see if anyone else has anything for you there. Jared's here with us, guys. November 5 Alpha Fox Charlie is here. If you'd like to say hi, come now with your name and call sign. Okay, nothing heard. Well, thanks for checking in, Jared, and have a great weekend, and good luck on the trivia net tomorrow night. Next on my list is Scott, KI5OBD. He's here this night. We had some dude. What's the movie? Big Lebowski references on Discord just a few minutes ago, and I figured I'd look over and see Scott drinking a Caucasian, but he wasn't. So I'm kind of disappointed, but we'll see what he's drinking tonight. Scott, what's going on? KI5OBD, go ahead.
Howdy, Ray. Howdy, everybody on the net. I'm out of vodka, so it's rum and Coke tonight. Rum and Pepsi, actually. I'll be drinking a Caucasian tomorrow night for sure. Yeah, I don't have not a lot of radio news since the November sweepstakes right before Thanksgiving. Just a little SSTV here and there. I did contact the guy in Quebec. I'll have to check. It's probably my DX record with SSTV, but this 300-watt amplifier is helping me get out there a little bit. So that's been fun. Other than that, nothing much interesting going on here. Just got done with, I was on vacation from Thanksgiving till Monday, so I went back to work this week and started off rotten and got better as it went along. So I had a good day at work today, so that was cool. That's about it from here. I'll throw it back to Ray, KI5OBD, back to net.
Yeah, after a nice long vacation, man, you got to kind of ease back into the old work routine. I know how that goes. Geez, if I didn't check my email for like 3 days, it would take me 3 more days just to clear them all out. So I can only imagine. So what's this about SSTV? Are you getting, I mean, what, a DX award or what happened there?
No award, just a contact. I traded images with a guy in Quebec the other day. I got a kick out of it. Yeah, it's probably my DX record, my personal DX record, distant record for SSTV. So, all the way to the east coast of Canada, in Frenchy country. KI5OBD.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I don't think I was thinking while you were talking, I've done a lot of SSTV, and I don't think I've ever made a Canadian contact, not even just, straight up north from us, much less on the far east coast. So that's pretty awesome, man. Congrats. I'm sure that amp is helping quite a bit. Well, that's cool stuff. Thanks for sharing. Let's see if anyone has any comments on that. Scott's here, guys. KI5OBD is with us. If you'd like to say hi or have any interesting stories about your own SSTV experiences, come now with your name and call sign.
5TXR.
Hey there, Sammy. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Hey, Scott, I was wondering, since you've had some time with the new amp, what your impressions were. And also to tell you, with that power, 17 during the day has been really nice. And there's a guy that does a round table, and he's also in Quebec. A round table every day, and you could talk to Florida, Mexico, West Coast, and up into Quebec pretty much every day. So if you haven't checked it out, you got enough power to get in there. And I was wondering what your thoughts were on that amplifier, N5TXR.
Hi, Sammy. Thanks for coming back. What was that round table? Where is this? Where can I find this round table net or whatever?
Well, if you got a writing instrument, I can give it to you. I'll give you a minute to get your writing instrument in your hands. But is 18.157.5, and that's where they're on pretty much every day. When I got on there earlier today, not only the regular guys, a guy in Mexico, a guy in Florida, I got a couple guys in Tennessee, and the guy in Quebec, New Zealand was coming in. But I didn't hear them very well, but they were talking to New Zealand.
sweet. And what time is this roundtable thing?
I don't know if he's got a set time. I've been hearing it anywhere from 11 in the morning to 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And also there's a guy in Jamaica that's always on there. And there's a guy that does a vacation every year down in Jamaica, and he sets up on the beach and makes contacts with his whole time there. And I talked to him the other day on 17. It's been really nice. There's not a lot of the noise floor is pretty good, and there's not a lot of, external noises on there, skip noises.
Well, sweet. Good info. Thanks for that. I will definitely check that out. The amplifier, I'm getting used to it. It's kind of finicky, but especially for SSTV, works great on 20 meters. I start off at 5 or 6 watts input, and as soon as it starts transmitting, I can roll it up all the way to like 12 watts in and get the full 300 watts out, and so that's fun. And works great on 15 meters and 10 voice phone. SSB works great on those bands, and I don't do a lot on 40 meters because it's so noisy, but I did make a contact or two recently using the amp, and so I'll pay more attention to 40 meters, and so I love the amp. It was a good purchase. Thanks a lot, Sammy. KF5OBD, back to net.
Just going to say, I was talking about 17 meters. I don't know, maybe I got cut off on the frequency, but it's 18.157.5.
Roger, 18.157.5. Got it. Thanks a lot. KF5OBD.
Alrighty, good stuff, guys. Anybody else have anything for Scott tonight? KI5OBD is here.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet.
Go ahead, Garrett. Floor's yours.
Hey, Scott, that's a pretty awesome contact you made up there in Quebec. I was kind of curious, what kind of image did you use, and what did you respond with? Because I read some stuff, and if you want to make DX contacts, you kind of get a little simpler. So I was kind of curious as to what image you used. KG5, KVJ, back to you.
Hey, Garrett. Sorry I missed you Monday. I still need to tell you about my time at Camp Pendleton. I'm looking through those images. Where are they? First of all, let me break a second. I do 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 do.
Oh man, my phone hit just at the right time. Did you guys hear that?
Oh, well, I'm not seeing it right now. I will find those and post them. It's KF5OBD. I'll post them on Discord. KF5OBD.
Roger that, Scott. Appreciate it. I'm definitely interested in that. And if everybody's new that's listening, you're a younger ham or something like that, you cruise around the HF band, you hear a clock noise, like a clock, 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 clock. That's probably SSTV with a bunch of weird noises in between each clock. So anyways, KG5, KVJ, back to net control.
Especially if you're on 2130 or 14230. Sorry, 14230 on the 20-meter band. It's definitely going to be SSTV. And by the way, if you've never tried SSTV, just find a way to get the audio from your radio into your computer. The software is free. MMSSTV is a free piece of software, and it's pretty easy to decode. If you can get the audio from your radio into your computer, you'll probably be successful decoding it at least. So that's half the battle. Sending it is a whole other story, but decoding it on receive is pretty easy. Alrighty, anybody else? One last call. If you'd like to jump in here and say hi to Scott before we let him go, KI5OBD is here. Okay, nothing heard. Thank you, Scott. Have a great weekend, my friend. Keep up the good work with the SSTVs. Got to keep that 230 alive, and boy, you got me itching now. I haven't sent some images in a while, so I'm gonna have to jump in the shack during work probably tomorrow, play around a little. All right, you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. My name is Ray, call sign K5BZI. I am Net Control. We're in the middle of regular check-ins for the net this evening. So if you join us late, hang tight. I will take another round of check-ins here shortly, so hang tight. I got a couple more to go before I'll open the floor for more check-ins. And before we get to that, let's check in with the next one on our list, which is Rusty, WZ5BBS. Rusty, what's going on, my friend?
Howdy, man. Not a whole lot to report. Been doing, the Slacker chat has been pretty awesome this week, even if Anderson was there. So that's pretty much the only radio I've been doing. I've been doing some Christmas present shopping and those kind of errands. So trying to wrap up as much work as possible. And yeah, just been kind of out in multiple directions. My last radio project was Ernesto's Clear Node. That thing seems to be doing pretty well. So if you're in the mood for an all-star node, you don't want to build it. Clear Node seems to be rocking it, and he's down in Puerto Rico right now using it. So that was kind of my last ham radio project. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I've never done a 5K or a bike race or anything like that, so I'm glad I'm getting to do that, and thanks again to everybody that's helping. So that's kind of the next thing on my agenda. I'm also using the on-air net scraper because I forgot where I was in the list. So this thing's pretty cool. If you got an iPhone or an iPad and you want to follow along, this thing actually will go and read the net logger data. So that's it, man. Pretty boring over here. WZ5BBS, back to Net Control.
Yeah, roger that, man. Well, looking forward to Sunday morning, even though I don't, as you know, I do not like early mornings, especially on Sundays. But I will be there at the crack of 7 a.m., and it looks like my nephew might actually be there, too, so that's cool. I just got messaged on that. And I've done a lot of charity bike rides and fun runs and stuff, and I've never had the opportunity to be part of a support station. So this is a big one for me. This will be my first time, and I feel like I've owed it to them for a long time. And so I'm glad this opportunity popped up. I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll see you out there, and maybe see you for brunch afterwards. All righty, guys. Rusty here. El Presidente is available if you'd like to say hi. WZ5BBS is here. Come now with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet.
Go ahead, Garrett.
So, Rusty, since I know that now that the bit of a joke is on that you are El Presidente, I'm kind of curious, do you have a green hat and a cigar?
No, I prefer El Guapo over El Presidente, but, yeah. It's a sweater!
Roger that. KG5, KVJ, back to Net Control.
I think I'll start calling him Chipolline and get him a little red suit. Those of you who aren't familiar with Mexican cartoons won't get that, but not even a cartoon, it's real life, but it's crazy. Anyway, I'm sure Rusty knows what I'm talking about. Maybe we can call him Güero, El Güero. That's even better. Anybody else? WZ5BBS is here if you'd like to say hi. One more time. Kilo India 5 Yankee Lima Sierra. Just barely make it in. Go ahead, Cody. Let's see how you do.
Part of this was a test to see if I could make it through, but I also wanted to chime in and see how to go. I haven't gotten to talk too much. Work's been working me like crazy, so yeah, I just want to chime in and say hi. See how you do.
Okay, so that was Cody up there in Colleen. He wanted to chime in. He said he's been monitoring the frequency, and it just came up for him just long enough for him to check in. So that was a quick check-in from Kilo India 5, Yankee Lima Sierra. Thank you, Cody, for checking in, man. Yeah, just making it. For those of you who don't know, that is my nephew up in Killeen, and he has a giant directional antenna and a 50-watt radio, and he's coming in with 50 watts via RF from about 68 miles north of us. So that's what propagation will do for you when it works. So thanks for checking in, Cody. We got you marked in the log, and I think that's your first RF check-in to the Thursday Night Net, so that's pretty cool. So let me open it up again for Rusty real quick, see if anybody wants to say hi to Rusty before we let him go. WZ5BBS is here. Go ahead. Okay, nothing heard. Well, thank you, Rusty. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Cody. Have a great weekend. It was really cool to hear you via RF straight in, so that was awesome. All right, next on my list is Jeffrey, Kilo India 5, Mike Victor Fox. Jeffrey, what's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot, man. Been real busy with work. I've been a lurker a lot lately. I've heard the soccer chats and jumped in once or twice occasionally. And doing my best to stay caught up on Discord. Really difficult when you're definitely not even participating. And so, yeah, work's been crazy. We're moving at least one building over to the holiday break, if not now potentially two. So, busy stuff. It's all going to be good in the end, but hopefully things settle out come the later half of January for me. Otherwise, not a whole lot of radio stuff going on. I appreciate your comment on my APRS share that I did. I had been out of town probably 2 weeks ago now, and always get to enjoy looking back on those APRS tracks. So, anyways, like I said, not a whole lot going on. This is KI5MVF. Back to that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That was quite the map. It's a long trip over there, and it was fun to see it. For those of you who aren't familiar, APRS, it's like a GPS tracking for ham radio, and a lot of us like to use it whenever we go out of town, and to keep track of our trip, which is kind of cool. It marks you pretty much every 20, 30, 50 yards or so, and so you can get a really, really accurate map of how you took your trip, and it's also fun when the guys back home know that you're doing it. We can follow along with you as you're going. A couple of years ago, I went to Vegas and picked up an RV and tracked myself all the way back, and boy, it sure was nice having I was by myself, so it was nice having the club support. Guys are pinging me all the time. Hey, man, I see you're in Flagstaff. Go check this place out or whatever. If you're going to stop in, I see you're on your way to Amarillo. If you're going to stop there, have lunch at this place. And so it was really nice having the camaraderie of the club for that long drive home as they were following me on APRS. So if you ever get a chance to go somewhere and track yourself on APRS, we'd sure love to hear about it. And you can download an app. I do it from an app on my phone. So it's pretty easy to do. All right, guys, got Jeffrey here, KI5MVF. Wasn't up to a whole lot except for that tracking, apparently, but if you'd like to say hi to him while he's here, come down with your name and call sign. Okay, nothing heard. Well, we'll move on next down to Garrett. That's Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet. Garrett, how's the family unit surviving?
No, we're surviving. I want to say thanks, Ray, for running the net. It's always fantastic hearing you on the airwaves. You run a fantastic net. Great. It's been pretty busy. A couple of weeks ago, the wife and I went out and bought a new refrigerator and microwave, and the microwave was what broke over the holiday for Thanksgiving, and so that's what drove the purchase of both of those. And got those installed, so I took apart the old microwave, and I'm now sitting here with a 120 volt to 4,000 volt transformer, the capacitor, as well as the device that converts it from 120 volts to 2.4, was it? No, 60 hertz to 2.4 gigahertz. So if anyone's interested in any of this, please let me know. Break. I have found a newfound love for my 1965 Massey Ferguson tractor as I went out today and then bought a Ohio Steel leaf picker upper dealie. You tow behind it and just picks up all the leaves for you. It's got a spiral brush set up on it. So I'm in love with that, and it's given me some more gumption to get into running this tractor right. And then break. There was something else, and I totally forgot it, so it's going to be KG5, KVJ, back to net control.
Well, that's cool news, man. Don't light your teeth up and short yourself into all those power supplies and transformers and whatnots that are coming out of that microwave. Boy, that's some power in that stuff. But that's pretty interesting. I'm not going to lie. I think if I had replaced my microwave, I probably would have taken my oven to the garage and tore it apart as well. So glad to hear it. Let's see. So wanted to mention, since I had you, that I meant to mention this earlier, but for those of you who don't know, the chatter has already started on the Field Day channel on Discord. Garrett is going to provide us with some serious freaking government-issued generator power this year, so that's going to be awesome. We definitely are going to be out at Fred's place. We got confirmation. Fred himself chimed in on the I'm so distracted by the Thursday Night Net channel, I can't even think straight. Fred himself chimed in on the Field Day channel and approved that we will in fact be able to use his property. So Garrett, reach out to Fred on Discord there and find out when you can bring that generator on out. I will be chatting him up on there as well to arrange time for us to go out there a few weeks before to do some clearing and preparing. But so those of you who think you might want to join us for Field Day this year, be sure to keep track on the Field Day channel and keep it listening on the nets every week, because we will be chatting it up more and more as it gets closer. And by closer, I mean the last weekend in January, if you don't know. Winter Field Day is the last weekend in January. All right, guys. After all that, if you remember, I'm still talking to Garrett here. KG5 KVJ is with us. So if you'd like to say hi to him, come now with your name and call sign, please. All right. I don't hear anything, Garrett. Well, have a great weekend, my friend, and we will catch up with you next time. Give the family there a big hug for me, and we'll catch you next time. All right, let's see. Next on my list is Cody, KI5YLS. I went ahead and put him on the list. He checked in a little bit earlier because he had a little bit of propagation. So let's call him right now, see if he can hear us. And maybe he'll jump in one more time if the prop's working for him up there in Killeen. Cody, KI5YLS, are you hearing us?
KI5YLS. Hey, I went ahead and jumped over to Echolink. The propagation, I guess, was veering out because it was coming in like waves. The static would get loud, and then it'd go quiet. Then super loud, then it'd go quiet. And it got to a point where the net would talk, and then I would hear nothing. And then it would come back, and then I would hear nothing. So I was like, I'm just going to jump over to Chucky Link and let that control me. But yeah, not a whole lot's been going on. I got my subwoofers attached in my car. I got a set of 210s put in the back of my Ford Focus. A lot of people say it looks weird, but hey, I guess it works. And other than that, I'm going to reset real quick. If I haven't been working, I've been sleeping. And I don't do a whole lot of sleeping, so that just means I do a whole lot of working. Other than that, I did post in the field day a question for everyone to give me some ideas on what I could do for field day. I want to try to bring my own setup to work, so I'm not stealing Ray K5BZI's equipment, so that way he doesn't have a reason to escape and talk to the other members of the club. He has to participate just as much as I got to participate. But no, that's a question that I was curious if, since my first field day, if there's a way I could bring my own equipment and work my own stuff. And Rusty asked me a question, and you can answer it, but I can't. I'm not too sure if I do or not. But anyways, no, that's about it. Got off at 7 tonight, so I figured I made the net, coming in late because I totally forgot it was Thursday, and reset for one last time. And because my days just pretty much bleed together at this point. But not a whole lot else has been happening. Been posting a lot of YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. Been trying to get that going and starting up. But that's a whole lot. About it. Back to net.
All right, well, that's good stuff. Yeah, you sound a whole lot better on Echolink, obviously, but it was pretty cool that we were able to hear you actually on RF. I was able to get your call sign and understand who was talking to me, and put you in a log there. So thanks for coming back. And absolutely, you're welcome to Field Day. Everybody's welcome to Field Day, guys. And the cool thing about Field Day is that we operate under the club call. So even if you're a technician class licensee, you can operate HF on all the bands. You're basically an extra for the day. So good stuff there. And yeah, we can. I think we can come up with some gear for you to bring out there, Cody. So we'll get you set up with something. All right, guys. KI5YLS from up in Killeen is here on base at Fort Hood. If you'd like to come say hi to him, come now with your name and call sign, please.
KC3 NAG.
Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, Cody. Do you watch Menno Link, like APRS mapping? I watch it all the time because quite often we can hear Houston repeater coming up into North Austin here. Menolink, MENNOLINK.org. Back to you, man.
Yeah, I will definitely. I'll definitely check that out because I knew of the propagation, VHF propagation map that Ray sent me. But that I haven't heard of it, but I will definitely check it out. Thanks for the info. Back to net.
All right, good stuff. Thank you so much there, and let's check in with K5TR. I heard you call in there. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I was just going to say the easier way to find that page is just to go to Google and type in APRS propagation, and it should be the first link that comes up to find the page that Randy's talking about, because I can never remember the URL. K5TR.
Yeah, I've got him on video here, and he gave me the thumbs up, so appreciate that. And yeah, I usually type in VHF propagation, and it pops up, but that works too. So yeah, thanks, guys, and he will definitely be monitoring that. And there is no propagation coming out of Killeen tonight. I'm looking at it right now, so it's pretty impressive that he was actually able to make it down here on 50 watts with nothing else but some wind. So hopefully we'll get a good night where he can come in on RF. That'd be cool. And if not, well, I guess I'll just have to go add another 15 feet to his mast one of these days. All right, guys, okay, KI5YLS still here with us. If anyone wants to say hi to Cody, come now with your name and call. Alrighty, Cody. Well, thanks for checking in this week, and thanks for trying the RF. And we, like I say, it was really cool that we actually got you logged via RF from all the way up there in Fort Hood. So that's pretty cool. And thank you, by the way, for jumping over to Echo, because it sure is a lot easier on our ears. All right, well, let me remind you guys that you're listening to the N5 OAKO Kill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net, hold every Thursday night here at 8 p.m., and it is a controlled net, meaning the station should refrain from transmitting till designated check-in or comment times. And I am the net controller. My name's Ray, call sign K5BZI. We just finished the first round of regular check-ins. We're in the midst of regular check-ins tonight, so if you'd like to check in tonight, you do not have to be a club member. We just ask that you are, in fact, a licensed amateur radio operator. And, in fact, if you're new to the hobby or new to the area, we'd especially love to hear from you, so don't be shy. We're a good group of guys, and we'd love to hear from you. So come now with your name and call sign if you'd like to check into the net tonight.
K5TR. This is AG5SJ Micah.
This is KC3 NAG Randy Anderson Mill on the flagship 320.
All right, we got those three. Anybody else like to check in tonight? Come now with your name and call sign. Don't be shy.
This is W5NDS.
There's Rod sneaking in there at the tail end. I was just about to cut her short there, Rod. We got you on the log. Anybody else?
N5TXR.
I was hoping I'd pull Sammy out of the woods. Anybody else? All right. Five's not bad for a second round. Let's go see what George is up to. K5TR, how you doing, my friend?
K5BZI in the net, K5TR. I'm driving north on Mopac at the moment. Taking something to my father. And I heard you talk about the 10-meter contest. I encourage everybody to get on for the 10-meter contest during the weekend. It runs from 6 p.m. local on Friday to 6 p.m. local on Sunday night, so you have a lot of time to choose from. And obviously the band's usually better in the daytime, but it can be open late into the night with E-Skip. And so and also, like I said in the Discord, and I think Ray may have mentioned earlier, I was listening, it can open and do all kinds of interesting things at a moment's notice. So don't turn the radio on once and go, oh, the band's dead this weekend, and turn it off, because that most definitely won't be true for all of the weekend. Other than that, I don't know, I haven't checked in a few weeks, but doing various things. I posted a picture of an SWL radio that I got last weekend, and been playing with that. In fact, I've been listening to the net on it this evening while cleaning up the living room. And let's see, there was something else I was going to mention, but I don't remember what it is now. Anyway, K5BZI on the net, K5TR.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that shortwave radio, George. That thing's a beauty, and that's pretty cool. You're able to listen in tonight on it, so good stuff. I'm a shortwave fan myself, as you know, so and I love old radios, so that really made me smile when I saw that on there. All right, good stuff, guys. K5TR George is here with us tonight. If you'd like to say hi, come now with your name and call sign. George, when you were going over a bridge, and I could hear the clock in the background, and at first it sounded like engine knock, and I was like, oh man, what's he driving? And then I realized it was just the separation joints in the bridge surface you were driving over. So have a safe trip, my friend, and we'll catch you next time around K5TR. Next on my list is Micah, Alpha Golf 5 Sierra Juliet. Micah, how are you?
AG5SJ, doing pretty good. Sorry I missed y'all on Tuesday. I meant to sit down and get on Simplex again before the HOA gets on to me about this new antenna. And just completely forgot, spaced out, playing video games, got tired, all that kind of stuff. Life got in the way. So for those of you who haven't already heard, Ray was kind enough to bring a giant ladder over and place a new GP9 18-foot tall antenna up on my roof that is slightly visible from the front of the house, and the back street, it's actually pretty visible from one spot, so hopefully that's not what ends up getting me. But thanks a lot to Ray for volunteering and doing that, and it really helps on Simplex night. It's amazing how much better I get out with 100 watts and a legit antenna. So that's really all that's going on with me. AG5SJ, back to net.
To put it in perspective, he went from about a 4-foot antenna in his attic to an 18-footer on the roof, and he's got a really tall 2-story house, and he sits on a hill. So, yeah, he was loud and clear into I think where is Doug? He's up in Cedar Park, right?
Was that Bastrop?
I think UNK. He's way up north. Isn't he up in Cedar Park area somewhere?
Oh yeah, I think there was someone up north I was getting to. Yeah, I was making some distance, and Rod could hear me better, and more importantly, usually Rod could hear me, but I could hear Rod, and I went from having to before I could transmit, having to look up at my waterfall to see if there was a little bit of a line that I couldn't hear, even when I turned the squelch down. Could never hear him, but could tell someone was transmitting, and I could hear Ray all the time. But now I could hear everyone the Tuesday before this past one. So looking forward to doing it again. Just need to remember next Tuesday to actually sit down here.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you were missed, man, and we'll catch you next time around. Alrighty, guys. Well, let's see. Mike is here. Alpha Golf 5 Sierra Juliet's with us. If anyone would like to come say hi, come with their name and call sign. All right, nothing heard. Well, thanks for checking in, Micah. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you on Tuesday, hopefully. Next on my list is Randy, Kilo Charlie 3, November Alpha Golf, KC3 NAG. What's happening, my friend?
Hey, Ray. Not too much. Just goofing around the house. Lurking around as usual. Lurking and learning, actually. I've learned a lot listening and lurking, so it's all good. But, and there was a conversation going on earlier this week with who knows who at the moment, but about the built-in antenna tuners in HF radios and, SWR and also, outboard antenna tuners and power loss and blah, 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 back and forth, which is a very interesting subject. But, so to have a little fun, like, I have no waterfall display on my HF radio. I go to WebSDR and hit the Northern Utah WebSDR so I can see the waterfall and see if I'm talking. And it's always worked very well for me. But, so what I did, what was interesting, was instead of talking and going like, hey, is the frequency clear? Is the frequency clear? I pushed the antenna tune button on my radio, which sends out like, I think, 5-watt signal. And I could see the signal 800 miles away. And of course, then I jumped on, voice a little bit just to see what that was like. But, I never thought the antenna tuner would push that much signal that distance. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, man, we could totally open a can of worms talking about antenna tuners on this net. But I mean, it doesn't surprise me. And by the way, that checking your signal on the web SDRs is such a great idea. I do that all the time, and I'm not surprised at all actually, because your tuner's putting out a CW tone, right? So that's why people use Morse code, because you can get all over the place on next to nothing power wise. So. That's pretty cool, man. I don't have a waterfall on my HF rig in the shack either, and I use my tuner all the time, and I love it. So, there you go. Well, if anyone else has anything for Randy tonight, KC3NAG's here. If you've had good or bad experiences with your built-in antenna tuner, let us know. Come down with your name and call sign. So, Randy, do you have an external tuner, or you're just using your internal one?
I just have the internal one, Yaesu 450 and a Yaesu 450 Delta, but that's it. You know, I have a Nano VNA antenna analyzer, and you want to get your antenna down to where it's like relatively close, and at least these Yaesus, if it's below 3 to 1, it'll tune it down some more, and the whole conversation was like, gee, is the power going someplace or no? So yeah, we don't need to go down that road, but yeah, just the internal tuner, and I'm like, hey, I don't know, let's play. You don't know if you don't try.
You don't know if you don't try, and you kind of, there's nothing wrong with working with what you got, right? Yeah, I've got a Yaesu FT950, and it does just fine as long as my antennas are close. And, I don't know if there's situations, where you're running a random wire and you need something a little more peppy to tune it. But I think, in my shack station, I expect that my antennas are going to be pretty close. But, field day, parks on the air, I might wind up something a little bit out and maybe need a little more tuning ability, but in the shack I feel like I should be good with my internal tuners. But anyway, that's a cool subject, and we'll let you go, and have a great weekend, Randy, and if we don't hear from you next week, have a great holiday, and we'll catch you later. Next on my list is Rod, W5NDS. How's it cooking over there, Rod? What's new?
Well, good evening, Bray. Good to hear you on the net, and everybody. Not much to report here. Not a lot of exciting radio activity. So I just want to call in and say hello. And so enjoying the net here tonight and hearing everybody's news. Back to net.
Roger, man. Well, you sounded good as always, and we appreciate you checking in. And have a great weekend. Let's see if anybody has anything for you tonight. Rod's here, guys. W5NDS. Anybody got any traffic for our friend Rod? Come now.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Garrett.
Hey, Rod. I got to put out the obligatory question there. Any sweets for the evening?
Well, I was waiting for that, Garrett. Yes, I had a couple of cookies tonight, a sugar cookie, and then a homemade chocolate chip. So, it's been a good night so far.
Well, that sounds like it to me, Rod. I hope you have a good evening. It's KG5, KVJ, back to net control.
All right, good stuff, man. Now I'm going to have to go in the house. I think my wife's got some Rice Krispie treats in there I might have to partake in. All right, anybody else have anything for Rod tonight? Come now with your name and call sign. All right, nothing heard. Well, have yourself a good weekend, Rod, and maybe we'll hear you on Tuesday night. 73, my friend. Next on the list is Sammy, N5TXR. Sammy, what's going on, buddy? Haven't talked to you in a while. What's new?
Oh, not a whole lot of new stuff, Ray. You know, I enjoy your nets so much I can't help myself just to check in. But anyway, I'm glad to hear everybody on. And, you know, it's a hard act to follow Rod, but I'll try. In case some of y'all don't know, you know, we should be calling him Doctor because he's got a PhD. So I don't know if he would take it to that, but we should be calling him that every once in a while. Anyway, I'm just moving little things at a time, camper and different stuff out to Lexington and trying to reduce things here. That's about it. Appreciate it, Ray. N5TXR.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you, sir. Thanks for the kudos, and always love hearing from you. And I was talking to Cody on the Florence repeater the other night, and we picked up a guy in Giddings who was talking to the LaGrange repeater, and the two repeaters are on the same frequency with the same tone, and they were actually doubling with each other. Whenever he would start transmitting before the tail would die on the Florence machine, so I couldn't understand like the first couple seconds of what he said because it was doubling with the tail of the Florence machine. And so I'm thinking on a good day, even from Lexington, I think we ought to be able to get a hold of you somehow. So looking forward to experimenting a little bit with that when you get out there. All right, anybody have anything for Sammy tonight? N5TXR is here. Come now with your name and call. All right, man. Well, let us know how the move goes because Allie and I are definitely looking forward to bringing the RV out and hanging out with you once you get settled in out that way. Okay, let's see. We've got a virtual check-in next from NE5P. He said he tried to check in via RF a couple times, but wasn't quite sure he was going to make it in there. So, Mark, NE5P, if you're with us, come now and tell us what you've been up to.
Hey, Ray, hope this is coming through. Thanks for running the net. Great net as usual. Been a while since I've been online and checking in. But great to be here. Not a whole lot going on other than just trying to get back on the line on the nets. Been off the air for quite a while, but one major project I've got going is I've got an FTM 300D I've purchased a little bit ago, a couple months ago, and I'd like to try to get that installed in the new truck. So probably anybody has experience with antennas on trucks and locations, feed lines, power, all that kind of stuff, definitely be open to getting some experience-based feedback on that. NE5P, back to net.
Right on, man. Well, that's cool. Good luck on the new install, and I can tell you there are plenty of guys with experience on that. For those of you who don't know, my daily driver is a 1972 Chevy pickup, and I refuse to drill any holes in it. So I have a little lip mount on the very, very back end of the tailgate of the bed, not on the tailgate, but on the bed next to the tailgate. And it does just fine. So you can get away with it just about anything. I know some guys that have a nice, perfectly aligned, right in the roof of their four-door pickup, right in the back of the roof of the cab, and that works real good because you get a nice ground plane there. But you do what you got to do and make it work. So if anyone's got any advice or would like to help out Mark there with an install on an antenna on a pickup truck, come now with your name and call sign. Sounds like nobody wants to touch that one, Mark. It's when it comes to drilling holes in someone's pickup truck, I think pretty much everybody kind of leaves it up to you. But I'm sure that if you reached out on the day when the drill comes out, I'm sure you'll find plenty of help. So good luck with it, and we hope to hear you on the road. NE5P 73, have a great weekend. All right. That is the end of my regular check-in, my second round of regular check-ins, guys. You're listening to the N508K Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday night net. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. we're here, and we're going on 2 hours now, so let's do another round of check-ins. Check-ins for the Thursday night net. You do not have to be a club member. We just ask that you are, in fact, a licensed amateur radio operator, and we'd love to hear from you, especially if you're new to the hobby. All you got to do is give me your call sign, and we'll put you on log and check in with you. So come now with your call sign if you'd like to check into tonight's log. All right. Nothing heard? Well, let's see. Let me give you guys a bit of a net rundown before we wind it up tonight. And I just remembered to do that, so I'm probably going to forget a few, but it's okay. When I'm done, I'll open it up and let anyone fill in with some nets that I may have forgotten along the way. So, starting with the week, starts on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. on, and let me get this right. If Rod's still awake, you might help me out with this, but it's the 10-meter net, and it's on 28.410. I know that's right because I just visually saw it in my brains here. 28.410 at 3:30 p.m. on, or I think it's at 3 p.m. on Sundays is a 10-meter net. And Rod himself is a host of that net. I think it's part of the Amateur Radio Club, Austin Amateur Radio Club. So if you're working 10 meters anyway, right, for the contest this Sunday, and you want to jump over and say hi to the guys, go to 28.410 at 3:30 on Sunday. Sunday night at 7:30 is the weekly wind down net with Maria and Ernesto on this in the extended network. I believe the KA5D system is connected to us on Sunday nights for that net. If not, be sure to reach out to the 147.320 and the 147250 at 7:30 for the weekly wind down. It's a quick little net. It's got a hard stop at 8 because another net takes its place. So jump in there and say hi to everyone and tell us what you know, give us a quick rundown on how your weekend's been. 7:30 p.m. on Sundays. Monday, 6-meter Monday, we try to get at 50.125 on the 6-meter band at 8 p.m., starting at 8 p.m. on Monday nights. You can find the guys, like I say, starting at 50.125. And if you get there a little late, jump on Discord if you don't hear anything, because a lot of times there's guys lurking and hoping to hear somebody, or maybe they started on 5125 and moved. It's been known to jump into the CW portion, jump over and do some SSTV. Then maybe they moved over and are doing FT8 on 313. So jump on Discord if you don't hear anything around 8 o'clock on Monday nights on 6 meters, because there's probably somebody there. Tuesday night is Southside Simplex. FM Simplex starting at 8 p.m. every Tuesday night on 146.555. It's a weird frequency, but it's easy to remember because it's Southside Simplex. Looks like S's, right? 146.555 every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. We started it out down here in South Austin, but it's expanded. A lot of times we get folks from Smithville. We always get a bunch of guys from up north. We get Rod here from North Campus. We get Doug, UNK up there in Cedar Park. And now we've even got some folks down Belterra and Dripping Springs ways jumping in. So be sure to check us out on Tuesday nights on 146.555 at 8 p.m. It's a lot of fun. Simplex, FM Simplex. Wednesday is the UT Amateur Radio Club's net, like this one. It's their biggie. It starts at 8 p.m. on the KA5D system, which is extensive, and you can find out those frequencies by going to ka5d.com. Of course, the Oak is connected to Kyle's system on Wednesday nights to help support those guys. so you can catch them on our frequencies as well. So by all means, if you have a chance on a Wednesday night, go support the UT guys. They're a great group of guys over there, and up and coming hams. It's always good to hear them keeping their net alive on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Of course, on Thursday nights, you got this net that starts at 8, but before this one is the world-famous CW net that got started by W5WTH. It's on the tech portion of the 80-meter band, which is handy because even techs can come join. So they'll accept all skill sets there, and the frequency is give or take 3532, so 3.532. Give or take, every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. right before this net. Go check out Pat and the guys on the CW net. They even let me join in a couple times, and I'm terrible. And of course, you got this net at 8 p.m. every Thursday night, and you never know what net control op you're going to get. So tune in every week to find out who's hosting and who's doing the news and the questions and other material content that we provide. You never know who's going to be on the air providing content, and that makes it interesting. So come check us out every Thursday at 8 p.m. for the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net. If you like trivia, Friday night's your thing. It starts at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Friday night trivia. Rusty, WZ5BBS, is the trivia master. And you don't even have to be near a radio if you can't be. You can play it on your phone. It's a web-based application that you can find online at our website at n50ak.org. And you can play along right there online without even any sound. Of course, it's a lot more fun if you can hear the net because the banter is a lot of fun, and Rusty does a bang-up job of hosting. So check out the Friday Night Trivia Net every Friday at 9 p.m. on this and the KA5D system. They're linked. And then Saturdays, there's always something going on Saturdays. This week there's a contest, 10-meter contest. Lots of times we have club members that are doing parks on the air, summits on the air, all kinds of cool things on the air. So check out Discord, where you can find out more information about the extracurriculars that are taking place. Fox hunts, we do fox hunts, and there's nets too. I could just never remember what they are. So go check out Discord if you haven't already to find out what's happening on Saturdays. And if you want to get connected with us on Discord, as I mentioned earlier than that, you can do so by going and clicking on the big purple button on the bottom left corner of our website at n50ak.org. And that's all I've got for your net rundown. If anybody has any nets that I failed to mention, please jump in now with your name and call sign, and I'll give you the floor. All right, there you have it. Apparently I got them all, so if I didn't mention it, they don't exist, apparently. Not true. But anyway, check out our website, as I mentioned, n50ak.org. Go check out our Facebook page. Rusty's been doing a really good job about keeping it current, and it's a lot of fun. It links to some really cool swap meet Facebook pages, so that's handy. What else? Discord, I mentioned that. I guess that's about it. Join us for the meeting coming up in late January, which is going to be right like the week before Field Day. Field Day is the last weekend in January, so mark your calendars for Winter Field Day. It goes. We show up Friday night, the night before. The Field Day event actually starts at 1 p.m. Saturday and ends on 1 p.m. Sunday. But the club likes to show up the Friday night before and camp out and get the fire going and have a few adult beverages and do what we do. So. Put it on your calendar last weekend in January. Don't make any plans. That's it. I'm going to stop yapping. I'll open the frequency back to regular amateur use. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. It's been a blast as always, and we'll catch you next week. That's closed. I now return the frequency to regular amateur use. K5BZI clear.
Thank you, Ray. WZ5BBS.
someone's playing with their APRS. Someone was paying attention to the net. Wow. I heard your call, son. Yeah, I guess you're not hearing me, but I heard you. KI5YLS, K5BZI. Sorry, man, not quite making you out. K5BZI.
KI5YLS.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's up and down, isn't it? Can you hear me okay? Nothing, huh? Yeah, okay. K5BZI monitoring.
K5BZI, KF5YLS.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. K5BZI.
Yeah, no, still, again, I heard you, I didn't hear you at first, and then I said, that's probably why I can't hear anything. The volume was turned all the way down. So then I turned it up, and I heard you come in, and then you gave me like the little sign, and then I didn't hear anything. So yeah, it's spotty tonight. So
Yeah, looking at the Minilink, you're not there's looks like there's little bits of propagation all over the state, except from where you need it. There's nothing. The only gap is between Killeen and Austin, so it's a perfect storm of nothing for you.
that's that Echo Luck for you. Just about gets you everywhere, but where you exactly need it. Back to you.
Well, as long as that's not my luck with cars, I'll be all right.
I'll knock on my wooden desk just to make sure it's not for your cars.
Thank you. Just watching a really cool Thursday night game on TV.
Who's watching, or who's playing again? Because I know I looked it up earlier today, and it was like two teams that I wasn't really. It didn't matter to me who won or who lost.
Well, it's the Raiders and the Rams, and Baker Mayfield just got picked up by the Rams this week, so it's his first game, and it's an interesting game.
Oh yeah. That's right. I gotta see. My main focus right now is to see if I have anyone for fantasy. I'm in a fantasy football league up at work, and I do have somebody tonight because I've already gotten 20 points. That's what's up. Oh, I got Devontae Adams and T. Higbee. But no, I'm in a league at work, and we came up with a bet that a loser has to buy lunch for everybody else. Yeah, well, I'm gonna lose. I mean, my season's pretty much guaranteed because before last week, I was sitting in the position where I had to win every game, and if I lost even one, then my season was done. There was no way I could catch up. Well, last week I lost, so that's my season.
Yeah. It's kind of why I don't really play fantasy football anymore, because you really got to play it, and I just, I give up on it, and I just don't play it, and I wind up being that guy that's in last place that's holding a couple of good players, and everyone's mad at me because I won't let go of my players because I'm not paying attention,
I'm sort of the same way. I'm in last place, and I've already had a couple of people come to me and be like, trade me this person for this person, trade me this person for this person. But I won't trade, it's not that I won't trade because I don't pay attention. I'm not trading because I'm trying to see if I can, at least get one position up, just barely. Or I'm waiting for the playoff consolation games where I can hopefully take some names in the consolation games. But that's why I haven't been trading. So what is the time frame for Sunday looking at, so I know when to be there and all that other stuff?
You need to be at, hang on, I'll send you the email. You got to be at the Travis County Expo Center at 7 a.m.
So much for sleeping in on my day off.
It'll be over by noon, so you can go home and take a nap. Cody Echo 2001 at Gmail, right?
Correctamundo.
Okay, I sent it to you.
So I may have a new / better job in the lineup.
Oh, that's good news. Tell me about it.
So with cons, I've been having a lot of problems with my manager. He's been targeting me exactly for some things that have not been my fault, or I've done, like, one of the things is I've made the most calls throughout than anybody else, and I've made all my calls, and because he catches me just standing around for like a second, he'll literally send me home for the day, and that's causing me not to get sales, which is causing me not to get paid. And it's just a lot of problems. It's almost like he has a vendetta against me for some reason when I've never met the guy. So I put in an application for the cons resource team. It's called RSS. It's Resource and Supply or something like that. And it's work from home, and it's $20 an hour. And all I do is sit there and answer calls from different cons places when they need help with like their ticket or their like getting discounts and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, well, sounds good, man. Have you ever considered like driving for FedEx or UPS or Amazon?
I have before I got the cons job, which I'll look into it again. I don't know if they're still hiring, but I have looked into that, and I know it used to be they got real good money doing that. I've also thought about going to Timble and working for Buc-ee's because their starting pay is $16 an hour, and then add $2 an hour if I work overnight, which I wouldn't mind doing for Buc-ee's.
Yeah, Roger. Hey, you want to jump over to Florence so you can use your radio?
Yeah, if you remind me which frequency that is again.
One 147-380. It's in your memories.
Alright, I'll see you over there.
Turn your memory dial until you see 147-380. Alright, K5BZI QSY to 147-380 Florence.
KF5YLS QSY 147.380.
K5TR mobile.